When it comes to characters that need no introduction, Spider-Man is on the top of that list. Character headlining 8 different movies, making appearances in countless others, having lists on lists of TV shows that are all amazing, by the way, and being one of, if not the, most profitable character in all of fiction. Even if you've been living under a rock, you know who Spider-Man is. And at one point or another, we've all dreamt of shooting our own version of webs, whether that be organic or with web shooters, and becoming Spider-Man ourselves. So let's see what it would take to become the wall crawler himself. What's up, guys? It's the old ninja wearing aviators and a superhero hat, and welcome to the Modern Ninja YouTube channel. Now today we are breaking down not only the fighting style but some of the powers of the wall crawler and teaching you how to train and become like him yourself. And I will even include a workout just at the end of the video or down in the description for you guys if you really want to follow the regimen and become built like Spider-Man. Now, Spider-Man isn't quite a powerhouse like Superman or Blade, the last 2 characters we did in the series. He is a much more agile and reactive fighter, relying on his instincts rather than his brute force or directiveness. And so we see Spider-Man incorporate his unmatched evasion skills, unpredictable angles, his acrobatic movement, and his famous spider sense, which we'll get into in a moment. In the comics, he does use his own style that he created with the help of, I believe, Iron Fist. It's called the Way of the Spider, and it's super cool, but it's not real, and considering that its only iteration or incarnation is in the comic books, we can't really pull movements out of it that well. So I'm going to be using my best judgment to give you the martial arts I think would make the most sense to use a Way of the Spider martial art. And for the first style, we really want to incorporate his evasive spins, some ground movement, his feints, and his flowing evasions. And for that, we're going to use Capoeira. Capoeira blends dance-like movements with acrobatics, kicks, sweeps, and fluid evasions. It teaches constant motion, rhythmic changes, and deceptive angles, all of which Spider-Man will need in his combat. And because it emphasizes level changes, or rather attacking between low and high targets, as well as spinning defenses, it perfectly matches Parker's agility and is going to start out our combat style. Next, we want to incorporate the interception Spider-Man has of getting in the way and deflecting attacks from other people, his economy of motion, reading people's attacks and reacting and countering. And for that, we're going to use Jeet Kune Do as our second style. And Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do focuses on interception, efficiency, and reacting faster than the opponent can act. JKD trains you to read attacks early, move off the line, and counter efficiently. Very similar to how Spider-Man uses his spider sense, which again, we will come back to in a minute. But we're also going to use its footwork, its trapping, and its adaptability to mirror the reactive and fluid style that Peter uses in his combat. Fun fact, Jeet Kune Do is not a martial art. It's actually Bruce Lee's philosophy. Now, there's more to it than that. If you'd like to see me go into a whole video about Jeet Kune Do, I could, but you know, while we're here, might as well give you a little tidbit of information. We need to be able to do all the cartwheels, the flips, the wall movements, and the unpredictable angles that Spider-Man uses, and tricking / free running is going to be the best bet. Tricking builds the explosive leg strength, rotational control, and aerial awareness, the foundation of Spider-Man's flips, dives, and evasive aerial attacks. Also known as parkour, it trains wall movements, vaulting, precision landings, and all kind of momentum control, allowing Peter, and through extension of this training, us to fight while constantly repositioning, making us that much harder to hit and that much more unpredictable in our combat. Together, these skills should make the blur of motion that Spider-Man is known for. Spider-Man does have a tendency to use grapples and holds to subdue his enemies over just brutal beatdowns, and so wrestling is going to be what we step into, making it really perfect because he was a wrestler for just a little bit, so I like that. And yes, Spider-Man is very strong, but he does fight seriously strong opponents, like the Rhino, for example. And so being able to not only use the strength that we have, but also leverage to be able to pin or grapple onto opponents is going to be really important in the wrestling training that we get. Those explosive takedowns should also give us a little time while they're dazed on the ground to web them up with our future web shooters. And lastly, just to make our style completely well-rounded, we're gonna dip into a little bit of kickboxing. Spider-Man really doesn't rely on kickboxing all that much, especially when it comes to elbows and knees, but we do want to be able to punch and kick effectively, and so we want to train that with just a little bit of kickboxing. Now, for those of you that want a physical workout to start toning your body into what is Spider-Man, don't worry, I will leave the link, or I'll actually leave it copy and pasted in the description down below for you to follow should you so choose. I'm not going to read it all out because that would take so much time, but instead I want to talk about two things. Number one being the spider sense, and number two being the major concepts of Spider-Man's fighting style that we will have to follow in order to truly emulate the spider. As far as his fighting style concepts and principles, first, he doesn't really block. At least not that he can't block, is that we prefer to evade. He slips, he ducks, he spins around, cartwheels away from attacks before directly taking it in a block. And so, if at all possible, we are going to prefer to evade our attacker rather than blocking our attacker. And that, again, isn't because he can't block, unlike Superman, who might not have the ability to block. I did a whole rant in that video, but he will be able to dodge instead, and that's what we're going to prefer. Next is to always attack from what seems like impossible angles. Low punches, high kicks, switching back and forth, attacking from behind and front, around, going down below. Changing it up always and consistently is important for our combat style because we don't want the enemy to get a read on what might be coming next. So in order to stay predictable, you have to change heights, change directions as often as you can. Along with that, stay mobile. We don't really want to stay in the same place. Maybe using your surroundings to get from one place to another, jumping over cars, underneath grates, or whatever is in the way. Use your environment. Obviously every environment is different than the next, but use it to move the fight into a situation in an area where not only are you at advantage, but other people are not at risk, like the true friendly neighborhood Spider-Man he is. Now, here's the thing. With the spider sense, it's, in my opinion, possible to mimic spider sense to a degree. You're not doing the crazy tingly feeling that Spider-Man gets, but there are ways to train your reaction time and look out for certain tells that can make it seem like you have spider sense because you're reacting before certain things are being thrown. And in my opinion, that comes down to training two different skills, but it's only two different skills. The first being your reaction time. You can use pad callouts with randomized timing. You can use reaction drills where you have to catch the balls or the poles as they drop. You can spar with limited vision, or like goggles that limit your vision so that you can only see it once it's coming towards you. And there's honestly several other ways to practice your reaction time. One of the ways I do it with my students at my school is I have one person stand with their hands by their shoulders, the other person get ready to punch and tap their chest. If you can catch their hand, you win. If they can pull their hand back without getting clapped, they win. And that is a great drill if you have a partner to work reaction time. But reaction time's honestly the easiest one to work out of the two things that make up spider sense. The second thing, at least when it comes to combat spider sense, is being able to tell what people are going to do before they do it. Now, this may seem impossible, and it is to a certain degree. All people have what are called tells. They are little things that people do before they take an action. For example, if someone is getting ready to punch and they wind up, that is a tell. If someone's getting ready to kick and they load up their leg, that is a tell. There's lots of little things that you can see once you become a professional martial artist that people showcase as their tells. Fighters look for it professionally as well as hiding it professionally. So this is something you're going to have to practice to understand over time. Everyone has different tells, but because we're all human and our bodies work generally the same, our tells are all going to be similar. And if you practice fighting someone who's never fought before, their tells are going to be a lot more apparent than someone whose tells have been worked on over years and years and years. So obviously the more experienced person is going to be harder to tell. But if you want to play a little game, go and tune into any boxing or UFC match and see if you can spot the tells that those fighters have, because I guarantee you every fighter has them. As small as they might be, every fighter has them. And so see which people you can spot the tells for and see which people you can't. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, Spider-Man is really hard to do for any beginners. None of what he does is like beginner techniques. I could sit here and try and teach you round kicks because a lot of his kicks and stuff have round kicks involved, but that would be a huge disservice, I'm not gonna lie to you. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna do a very, very advanced kick that Spider-Man does do in a lot of his games and movies and things like that. But like I said, it's really not going to be a beginner-friendly one. So if you want to learn how to kick better and build up to this video, then by all means, go to my channel. I've done a whole summer of kicking better where I took a bunch of videos, posted them all throughout the summer, and taught you how to do individual kicks. But for today, we're going over the 540 kick, which is a very high-level kick. But it's super cool and one that Spider-Man definitely pulls on some people here and there. So with that said, let's start from the beginning. We're just going to teach ourselves how to jump with our 540. We're going to lift our knee up in the air, and this is going to be the knee that we're not going to kick with. We have our kicking leg, which is our right, and our non-kicking leg, which is our left for this video. Obviously, you can do it on both sides. Clearly, but for this video we're not going to do that. So sticking up your left non-kicking leg with your right kicking side, you're going to jump, tuck your knee to your chest, and put your foot down just like so. Simple as that, right? Just learn how to get your knee up to your chest and back down while landing on that right leg. Then we're going to bring it to level 2 and jump over our knee that's in the air. Again, lifting our knee, taking that right leg, jumping up and over just like that. Level 3 is we're gonna add in our spin through. Now this will help allow us to get a lot more power into our kick. For example, or not for example, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your kicking leg, you're gonna take a big step over, turning around and facing the opposite direction. From here, you're gonna take that knee, the same knee, lift it up towards the front as we rotate to the front, and then you're gonna do the same jump over all the way through. That will look like this, just like that. And this is just the very beginning of the kick, right? While we're building up the jump power in our legs, we're also going to start using our arms. We want to keep our hands in, using our elbows to allow us to throw our entire bodies in a circle, because what this will require is a lot of momentum going sideways. So to add in our arms, after your step and your knee, you're actually going to twist your arms toward your knee to allow yourself to spin all the way through the kick. Now, with the kick, we're gonna start small, like Smurf small. We're gonna imagine that there's a Smurf standing in front of us and we wanna just kick him in the head, right? So we're gonna step over, point the knee, and then just whoop, little step or little kick just like that, nothing super high. And as you get more experience, you can start kicking a gnome and then, higher and higher and higher until you get your kick high enough for you to really throw it and lean slightly back in your kick so that it looks something like this. That is your 540 kick. So now let's go back inside and finish the video. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do like making these kinds of superhero-based videos because, I don't know if you can tell, but I am a nerd and I love it. So if you like this kind of video, want me to do more, definitely consider leaving a comment, liking the video, doing all the things that help it do well, so I know you guys like these. And if you want to see more of these early, or just tell me which ones to do better, join, consider becoming with these guys and becoming a member, because not only will obviously their comments get highlighted in the comment section and the priority responses will be to them, but they'll be named at the end of my videos and see all of them early before everyone else does. So if that's something that interests you, consider, being a member. And if not, that's okay. I'll be here anyway, because my name's DJ Moore. This is The Modern Ninja, and I'm out.
Be the modern ninja, but
Lift off.
just know I'm dangerous.
30 minutes. Baby. Perfect.
I'm on that Bruce Lee, flow like water, state of mind. Got me going farther than I ever thought I could have been. Gotta grab a sheet of paper, as you know I got the pen. Anybody want to smoke, your whole career be looking grim. Out here flashing change while your boy been in the gym. Watch me spitting flames while the frogs try to